Hello, I'm Julene, Skywatch columnist for the Mountain Astrologer and CEO of the International Academy of Astrology. And welcome to my night sky tour for February 24th through the 29th of 2012. I have this set for 6:30 p.m. on February 24th. And you'll see that Mercury has returned to the evening sky. He'll be visible between the west and southwest, so west-southwest look, just above the sunset here, and you'll see Mercury. Above Mercury will be the moon, above the moon will be Venus, and above Venus will be Jupiter. Now, as the skies darken a bit, here we go to 6:45, it'll be a little easier to see Mercury. And 7 p.m., Mercury is still above the horizon. And everything's darker and it's easier to find Mercury at that point. Venus and Jupiter are bright enough to shine through while the sun is setting, or even before sunset, Venus is visible if you know where to look. So that's where you want to look to find Venus, just above the moon. Now if I come over to the eastern horizon at 7 p.m., you'll see that Mars is rising. Okay, so Mars rises around 7 in the east as Mercury is setting. Mars is retrograde, so Mars is going to be moving backwards here through Leo towards, throughout the end of this month and until it's, until it stations direct again. So this is just a few days. We won't detect a ton of movement from Mars, but we will be able to see that he is backing up a bit through the constellation Virgo. So now we're going to go back to the west, and we're going to wait for Mercury to set. By 7:15, Mercury will be setting. And then we'll keep going here. There's 7:30, 7:45, 8 p.m., 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, 9:15, the moon has set. There's Venus about to set. Venus is going to set around 9:45. This is 9:45. By 10 o'clock, Venus has set, and only Jupiter is visible in the west. But as we look here, we'll see that Saturn is about to rise. So Mars at 10 p.m. has moved because the sky has turned, because Earth has rotated. Mars is higher above the eastern horizon at 10 p.m. and here at 10:30 you're going to notice that Saturn's going to rise, and the bright star above Saturn is Spica in the constellation Virgo. So 10:30 Jupiter is still above the horizon and in the west, and Saturn and Mars are above the horizon in the east. Now Jupiter is going to set a little after 11. This is 11 p.m. So what I want to do is take you through the rest of the night, hour by hour, so we can track Saturn and Mars through the night sky. I'm going to put this on a 180 view so that we can get the whole sky. All right, so there's 11 p.m. There's 12 a.m. on Saturday the 25th, 1 a.m., 2, so about 2 a.m. Mars is pretty much due south. This would be Mars at the midheaven. Mars culminates or conjoins the midheaven around 2 a.m. on Saturday the 25th. We go to 3 a.m., 4 a.m., there's Saturn right near the midheaven, due south, culminating. 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. So if you're up in the morning before sunrise, you can look out and see Saturn in the southwest sky and Mars above the western horizon. And I'll advance this to 7 a.m. Now it's sunrise. Mars might be bright enough to shine through a bit, but after 7, we're going to lose Mars, and just before 7, we're going to lose Saturn because of their brightness and their ability to shine through the sunlight isn't as great for the dimmer planets. So that takes us through what's happening through the night, when you can locate the planets from sunrise to sunset. So I'm going to go back here to the 24th, and I'm going to, so we can track the planets that are really moving. All right, so here we are at 7 p.m. on Friday the 24th. Mercury is about to set. Now, we're going to track the moon. The moon's going to move all the way through here. The moon's going to hang above Venus, then it's going to hang out right by Jupiter, and then it's going to move past Jupiter through the end of the month. Venus, you'll notice, is down in this portion of Pisces, and the stars are really too dim, so a lot of times you don't, unless you're out in the country, you really don't see the stars of Pisces, but you can tell from these lines that we're going to watch Venus move up through here. Venus is going to move closer to Jupiter, and Mercury is going to move into the constellation of Pisces. So here we go. This is Saturday the 25th. See the moon just above Venus, so look for Venus below the moon on Saturday night. There's the 26th. And now Jupiter is going to be just east or left of the moon on Sunday night the 26th. There's the 27th, 28th, 29th, and that's the end of February. And you see that Mercury did move from below where the constellation drawing begins up into it, and Venus moved from here to there. So that's the sky tour for the end of February, and thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great weekend.